Marrakesh, 1906, a city of ancient beauty, a place of vibrant life and bustling markets. But beneath the searing North African sun, a darkness stirred. Hadj Mohammed Mesfewi, a seemingly unremarkable shoemaker, was about to etch his name in the city's history, not as a craftsman, but as a monster. His name would forever be whispered in fear. He would become known as the Marrakesh arch-killer. Mesfewi was cunning. He was patient. He preyed on the vulnerable, offering his services as a letter writer to illiterate young women. These women, often desperate for news from loved ones, saw Mesfewi as a lifeline to the outside world. They had no idea they were stepping into a carefully constructed web of death. The women would enter his shop, seeking his help. They trusted him. They would never leave. Mesfewi, with cold-blooded precision, would drug them. Their cries were swallowed by the thick walls of his shop, the bustling marketplace outside, oblivious to the horrors unfolding within. As Mesfewi continued his reign of terror, whispers began to circulate in the labyrinthine alleyways of the Kasbah. Young women were disappearing. Their families were frantic. Fear gripped the city. Still, no one suspected the unassuming shoemaker. He blended into the background, his true nature hidden behind a veil of normalcy. Mesfewi would dispose of the bodies in the dead of night. He buried his victims in shallow graves beneath his shop and in his garden. He believed he could hide his crimes forever. He was wrong. The stench of decay grew stronger. It seeped from the ground, a sickening perfume that clung to the hot desert air. The people of Marrakesh, used to the smells of spices and cooking fires, knew something was terribly wrong. The smell of death was unmistakable. The discovery was as horrific as it was unexpected. The authorities, alerted by the unbearable stench, descended upon Mesfewi's shop. What they uncovered shocked even the most hardened officers. Beneath the floorboards, they found a mass grave. The bodies of 20 women, their bodies mutilated, their faces frozen in terror. The news spread through Marrakesh like wildfire. The city was in an uproar. The seemingly ordinary shoemaker was a monster in their midst. The scale of his crimes was incomprehensible, but the horror was far from over. In Mesfewi's garden, police unearthed another 16 bodies, each one a testament to his depravity. The city watched in horror as the bodies were exhumed, their worst nightmares confirmed. The man they had lived alongside, had shared bread with, was a cold-blooded killer. Section 4. The Killer Unmasked. Mesfewi was arrested. He confessed to everything. His motive? Money. The meager possessions of his victims fueled his bloodlust. He showed no remorse, his eyes cold and empty. The people of Marrakesh demanded justice. His trial was swift. The evidence was overwhelming. Mesfewi was found guilty. The judge, his face grim, sentenced him to death. But the people of Marrakesh wanted more than a quick death for this monster. They wanted him to suffer. The court deliberated. The world watched. The case had gripped the international community. Some called for a swift execution. Others demanded a punishment that fit the horrific nature of his crimes. The court decided. Mesfewi was sentenced to be walled up alive. A slow and agonizing death. A punishment as brutal as the crimes he committed. For weeks leading up to his execution, Mesfewi was publicly flogged in the marketplace. Each lash a stark reminder of the pain he had inflicted. On June 11, 1906, a cell was constructed in the bustling marketplace. 2 feet deep, 2 feet wide, 6 feet high. A living tomb. Mesfewi was led to his fate. He begged for mercy. His pleas were met with silence. The crowd watched, their faces a mixture of anger and grim satisfaction, as stone by stone the wall was built, encasing Mesfewi in his airless coffin. His muffled screams echoed through the square, a chilling reminder of the depths of human depravity. For 2 days his cries continued. Then silence, the silence of death. The wall remained, a grim monument to Mesfewi's crimes, a reminder to all who dared to threaten the safety of the city. The tale of Hadj Mohammed Mesfewi is not just a story of a monster brought to justice. It is a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most vibrant cities. It is a story that continues to haunt the alleyways of Marrakesh, a story whispered on the desert wind.